Hello and welcome to live commentary of this Premier League game between Fulham and Aston Villa here from Craven Cottage in the sunshine in West London. Marco Silva's Fulham side sit in 12th place with 45 points, and that is 3 points worse off than they were last season. Once again for the Cottagers, you have to say that it's neither here nor there for them. In terms of relegation and Europe, they do have a chance of Europe, but it is a little bit of a distant hope of Europe for Fulham and Marco Silva's side. They make 3 changes to the side that drew against Brentford last time out. Just 1 win in 4, and goals appear to be tough to come by for the side from Craven Cottage. Aston Villa, meanwhile, they are nearly there for Champions League qualification, really. With 3 points today, they can smell, not just smell it, they can touch it as well. The qualification, they are 2-on-2 in their last 5 Premier League games, but taken in European matches, they are flying as well. They had a pretty poor start to the season, followed by an unbelievable run of 13 wins from 15 Premier League games just before Christmas. And it did at one point have them dreaming of a title challenge. These two sides have met 79 times in all competitions, 73 in the league, 35 in the Premier League, and once in 2018 in the Championship playoff final as well. They've met 3 times in the FA Cup and twice in the League Cup as well. So plenty of stuff for us to get our teeth into. Let's have a little look. In the Premier League, it's 7 Fulham wins, 11 draws and 17 Aston Villa wins. But here at Craven Cottage, it's 19 wins for Fulham, 6 wins for Aston Villa and 12 draws. Aston Villa, though, have completed the double over Fulham in each of the last 2 seasons, and now we were looking to do so again. Let's get ready as the 2 sides make their way out onto the field of play. It's all white kit for Fulham and Marco Silva's side today. The 48-year-old Portuguese manager, well, he's courted by many, but at the moment is finding it maybe a little hard at Fulham, because they're neither here nor there, are they? They're neither up nor down, but they're safe in the Premier League, that is for sure. It's 54-year-old Unai Emery that is possibly catching everybody's plaudits at the moment. Had a little bit of an unsuccessful spell at Arsenal. Maybe wasn't given enough time there. That's another question that could be asked for. But let's have a little look at the team news today. We'll look through the team news. 3 changes today. Jimenez is Burgers in and Chukwueze is in. Let's go through it. In goal, it will be Bert Leno. A back 4 from left to right of Ryan Sessegnon, Calvin Bassey, Joachim Andersen and Timothy Castagna. 2 holding midfielders in Sanderberg and Sasa Lucic, with 3 behind Raul Jimenez at the top of the park in the shape of Samuel Chukwueze, Emil Smith-Rowe and Harry Wilson. The people that have dropped to the bench today, Rodrigo Muniz and Tom Kearney. For the bench today for them, Lecomte is the goalkeeping cover. Harrison Reed, Rodrigo Muniz, Tom Kearney, Oscar Bob, Jonah Kusaari, Josh King, Issa Diop and Anthony Robinson. As I say, Alex Iwobi is out injured today. Let's have a little look at the Aston Villa side. They have made 4 changes from the side that won last time out. Emiliano Martinez in goal. They have a back 4 from left to right in the shape of Lucadinho, Pau Torres, Ezri Konsa and Massi Cash. The left side is changed. Mings is out and Matson is out. Both of those dropped to the bench. In the heart of the midfield, Lamar Bogard and Yuri Tillemans will patrol, but that is because the missing Amadou Onana is out on the field of play, or out of the squad altogether. Then it is Rogers, Buendia and McGinn behind Ollie Watkins at the top of the page. Right, the referee today is Michael Oliver, assisted by Stuart Bird and James Mannering. Anthony Backhouse is 4th official, or as we call him over here, boardman. And of course, Paul Howard is monitor man, or indeed on VAR. Just checking things through. We are ready for the 2 sides to start playing. It's claret and blue shirts for Aston Villa, claret shorts and claret socks. And it is going to be a chance for Marco Silva to go head-to-head with his Iberian Coast partner as we look to get this game underway. It is going to be Aston Villa that are going to lead the way here. They will attack the goal away to my left, and Fulham will attack the goal away to my right. And it is Michael Oliver who is about to start things off for us here at Craven Cottage. Coming in to take the ball and play it. Sasalucic rolls it back to Anderson. Anderson midway inside the Fulham half, which is to the left of the halfway line. Fires a long ball forward. Watkins gets the pieces up, but I've tied it up by Sander Berg from the halfway line, just by the centre spot, all the way back to Bernd Leno, who is clad in orange. Short pass out, 12 yards outside the Fulham penalty area, which is to the left of the halfway line, to Bassi. Bassi across to Castagna. Back to Bassi. Bassi still ambles a little bit further forward. Holds on to the football. Goes back to Joachim Andersen on the edge of the D of the Fulham penalty area, away to the left of the halfway line. Castagna back to Anderson. Anderson now gallops up to the halfway line. He's almost there. He's up to the halfway line into Aston Villa territory. Little flick to the ball to the left-hand side. Bassi takes the ball on, lifts it up towards the edge of the box. Coming in with Smith Rowe. Ball breaks to Wilson. Wilson gets onto his favoured left foot as he comes in from the right. But it's good work by Emiliano Buendia to turn the ball back to Pau Torres inside his own penalty area for Villa, away to my right-hand side. Long ball played forward this time by Pau Torres, and it's a little bit harmless and a little bit errant in terms of where it's gone. Anderson picks the ball up for Fulham and plays it square to the left-sided centre-half, Kelvin Bassi. Short ball forward into the feet of Smith Rowe, back to Anderson, forward this time to Berg. Berg gets upended with a big push in the back by Morgan Rogers, and it's going to be a foul to Fulham about 2 or 3 yards inside the half of Aston Villa. Sanderberg got his body across it. Morgan Rogers tried but didn't get there. Taken short by Fulham on the halfway line. Back to Bassi. Bassi forward to Smith Rowe. Back to Bassi. Bassi lifts it over, looking for the run on the far side of Sessegnon. Easily cleared on the far side by Cash. Villa can't get the ball under control as Smith Rowe turns towards the Aston Villa penalty area, way to my right. Cross goes in by Maatsen. Smith Rowe tries to get the ricochet, and Villa are making a bit of an untidy effort to clear their line. So they do so in the end, with Konza lifting the ball out, but it's run back by Bassi. Bassi to Smith Rowe. Smith Rowe's in, tries to square the ball back for Jimenez, but it's cut out lovely there by Pau Torres. Just wondered if the flag was going to go up. The flag hasn't gone up at the moment, and still Fulham come forward. Konza tied us up inside the D of his own 18-yard box, away to my right-hand side. Out to Digne. Digne to Tielemans. Back to Konza. Konza facing his own goalkeeper Martinez, who gets the ball and sweeps it out left-footed to his right-hand side. To Cash. Cash into his own penalty area, away to my right. Villa under a bit of pressure early doors here, but they've managed to play their way out with Torres. Torres back to Emiliano Martinez. And Emiliano Martinez just stops the ball inside the edge of his 18-yard box, away to my right-hand side before wandering out. He's now some 6 yards outside his 18-yard box, away to my right-hand side. Waits for Jimenez to come to meet him. Plays it to the right-sided centre-half, Konza. Konza to Cash. Cash round the corner into Rogers. Rogers' layoff is not very good, and again seized on by Lukic in the middle of the park, but his ball through was cut out by Konza on the edge of the Aston Villa penalty area. Now Villa try and break down this left-hand side. Luca Digne, the left back, getting quite far forward, but I think the ball is out of play. He was tracked back there by Harold Wilson, and the ball is going to be a throw on this near side. But once again, just got a little look back at that Emil Smith Rowe, where I thought the flag was going up. Dead level, just couldn't pull it back to Jimenez in the middle of the park. Throw on this near side. Timothy Castagna, the right back, just 30 years of age, is going to throw it towards the halfway line. Does so. Trying to hook it over his head by Jimenez. This time the ball goes into the feet of Tielemans, who's caught late, goes down in a heap, and Michael Oliver says that is a foul. Yuri Tielemans has been out for a while. Just have a little look at the bench, as I say. Boubacar Kamara is missing. Not in the selection today. Allison, Harvey Elliott, Amadou Onana and Andre Garcia. They're not playing at all. But, the bench does have Tammy Abraham, Ross Barkley, Leon Bailey, Douglas Luiz, Jadon Sancho back from a shoulder injury. Defenders in Maatsen and Co. Free kick into the Fulham penalty area, away to my left-hand side, and it just grazed off the head of the man on the far side. So it looks as though it's going to be the first corner of the match, going the way just comes off the back of Castagna as Cash comes in. First corner of the match goes towards Aston Villa. Aston Villa will now swing the ball in. Goal away to my left-hand side. Digne goes out on the far side to take it. We're into the 5th minute. It's still Fulham 0, Aston Villa 0. Digne's going to sweep this in with his left foot. Leno looks out to his left-hand side. Digne goes short, finds McGinn, back to Digne, who keeps on side, up to the edge of the box, tries to play it in, and as it's deflected into the box right by the penalty spot, Raul Jimenez thumps the ball into the other half of the pitch, and Aston Villa's Cash plays it all the way back to Martinez. Martinez plays the ball from left to right, long raking ball, glancing header back, that should go away for another corner this time. The man that was back there was Harry Wilson, couldn't get enough on the long ball, and it's grazed off his head and gone away for the same side for Digne to take yet another corner. Will they go short again? Often a waste when they go short, but Wilson done his defensive duties as good as he possibly could back there. Just it lacked a few inches. There's a phrase I've heard before. Digne goes far side of the pitch. Leno looks out of his goal to his left-hand side. And it's going to be swung in here. We're into the 6th minute, almost into the 7th minute. Digne signals with one arm aloft this time. McGinn is still short, but this time it's into the 6-yard box, and it's easily claimed like plucking apples off a tree by Bernd Leno. Quickly rolls it out to the feet of Smith Rowe. Smith Rowe loses out. Challenge goes in by Tielemans on Smith Rowe. Smith Rowe's down in a heap. Foul is being given, and advantage was played briefly there by our referee Michael Oliver. But as Wilson came in, he lost it again. Fulham take the free kick quickly. Sessegnon now lifts it into the penalty spot. Headed by Raul Jimenez, who found space between Konza and Torres, but it's straight at Martinez away to my right-hand side. Good bit of play there, although I just see the replay could be a fraction offside as that header goes in. Yeah, Jan might have had something to do. Martinez plays it to Konza. Konza out to Cash. They're 6 yards from their own corner flag. Lovely play inside this time to Bogard. Bogard gets it back to Cash. Cash now finds McGinn. McGinn finds the ball onto Tielemans. Tielemans up this time into the feet of Watkins. Watkins lays the ball off. Buendia with a first-time shot. This time sails wide of Leno's right post. Away to my left-hand side. Applauded by Unai Emery, the Aston Villa head coach. I'm not sure that Watkins left it for the shot from Buendia, but either way it looked pretty nifty. Tried to curl it into the top right-hand corner of Leno's goal, but it didn't go in. It went wide into the fans. Goal kick for Fulham, away to my left-hand side, taken short and out of the box to Bassi. Bassi tries to play it forward. Excellent defensive work there by Tielemans. Rogers finds Buendia. Buendia slips the ball over the top, looking for the run of Rogers. Badgers his way past Bassi. Bassi gets there. Ball goes out of play on the far side. Calvin Bassi just couldn't keep it in place. To be a throw over by the corner flag, defended by the left back of Fulham. Coming forward to take it, Matty Cash is going to take it 12 yards from that corner flag. Throws it back to Bogard. Gets it back to Cash. Back to Bogard it goes. Bogard coming away from goal. Has to play it back to the halfway line to Konza. Konza square to his right-hand side to Torres. Torres, short ball forward into the feet this time of Buendia. Falls to the floor as he plays it back to Torres, and then he plays it inside to Bogard, and Smith Rowe read it, and Bogard pulled him down. Free kick to Fulham. No more than 4 or 5 yards inside the half of Aston Villa, which is to the right of the halfway line. Aston Villa defend the goal away to my right. Fulham defend the goal away to my left. And I see pictures on here, very similar, on the replay monitor that you would see on your television. Throw down between the two technical areas. Silver in the one to the left, and as I look down, Emily in the one to the right. Back it goes all the way to Leno. Leno to Bassi. Bassi 6 yards outside the Fulham penalty area, away to my left-hand side. Short pass in field to the right-sided centre-half Anderson. Back to Bassi, who's made a few yards forward. 6 yards shy of the halfway line. Tries a diagonal ball along the ground. Flicks off the legs in the middle of the park of Tielemans. And Torres plays it back to Martinez in the goal away to my right-hand side. A bit of work out to McGinn. McGinn to Rogers. Rogers gets it into Bogard, who surely puts his head up where Angels fear to put their heads. And in with a header down was Samuel Chukwueze, and he almost had his block knocked off by the foot. Referee Michael Oliver has said that is where the free kick is going to be taken. It's about 6 to 7 yards inside the half of Aston Villa, which lies to the right of the halfway line. We're into the 10th minute. Fulham 0, Aston Villa 0. No keeper really tested. Just that header by Jimenez, which could have been flagged for offside. Wilson takes a free kick quickly, fires a shot in, little deflection, easy for Martinez to take one step outside of his right post, away to my right, and gather. Pulls it out underarm, this time to Cash. Faced by Sessegnon, goes inside to Rodgers. Rodgers loses out. Great nick coming forward this time. Chance for a shot from distance by Sander Berg. Sasa Lukic got onto the loose ball and side-footed it towards the Aston Villa goal, and it was easy for Martinez to take. Lukic and Berg, similar in size and stature. Better check the boots. Lukic with the bright yellow ones. Aston Villa come forward. Tielemans out to Watkins. Watkins coming in from the left-hand side. Drives to the edge of the box. Onto his left foot. Fires a low shot. Down to his left-hand side from 18 yards. Goes Bernd Leno and smothers the ball. Wants to get on with the game. It's really been a lively opening here for the early kick-off on the Premier League today. Some big games going your way this afternoon. Liverpool versus Palace at 3. West Ham Everton at 3. Wolves versus Tottenham at 3. Massive game, that one. And Everton Arsenal versus Newcastle at 5:30. Manchester United take on Brentford on Sunday. 2 FA Cup semi-finals. Remember, yesterday Sunderland 0, Nottingham Forest 5 in the game on Friday evening. Aston Villa win the ball back. Rodgers 12 yards inside the half. Ollie Watkins, though, this time adjudged to a foul. Joachim Andersen in a bit of a lunge for the ball. 12 yards inside the Fulham half. Thomas Tuchel is here. The England manager, obviously getting ready to slim his squad down for the World Cup that is coming. 35 players to deal with. Ollie Watkins puts his thumb up. Anderson's back on his feet and the ball is back in play. Castagna into the feet in the middle of the park of Anderson. Anderson lifts the ball out, looking for the rampaging left back Ryan Sessegnon. Chukwueze gets out there, crosses it in towards the Aston Villa penalty area, but it goes off the outside of his left boot and over the top of the crossbar and away. That is 12 minutes gone already in this game. Still goalless from Fulham and Aston Villa. Aston Villa defend the goal away to my right. Played forward. Bogard to Cash. Cash back to Konza. Konza down the side of his own penalty area. Goes square. 6 yards across the face of his own penalty area away to my right to Torres. Torres gallops forward here. Short ball forward. Tries to find Buendia. Buendia gets a toe on it, but he's well shackled there by Castagna. Castagna and Buendia have a coming together on the halfway line. And it is a foul, as denoted by the shrill peep of Michael Oliver's whistle, just about on the halfway line. Tielemans will take this. Fulham defend the goal away to my left-hand side. Tielemans will look. Torres stands by there. I don't think it's going to be Torres to take it, although he blows it short to Tielemans, and Tielemans has to clip it through a diminishing gap. Comes off the legs of Jimenez, balloons up in the air. Smith Rowe gets the ball to Berg. Berg 12 yards inside the half of Aston Villa, which is to the right of the halfway line. Plays the ball to Lukic. Lukic now comes out and plays it to Castagna, the right back. Back to Lukic it goes. 12 yards inside the Villa half. Infield it goes to Berg. Berg now 18 yards. Plays it to Bassi. Bassi will have to scurry out to that left flank to get it. Down the line to Sessegnon. Chukwueze. Back it goes to Berg. Berg to Castagna. Castagna back to Berg. Berg to Bassi. Bassi now 6 yards outside the Aston Villa penalty area. Crosses the ball in looking for Jimenez, but it evades him and goes over his head and away for a goal kick to Aston Villa, away to my right-hand side. It's a glorious day in West London here for a game of football, that is for sure. Bassi got the wrong club out of the golf bag there. Overcooked it. Goal kick is taken by Torres to Martinez. Martinez out to Konza. Konza now down the side of his own penalty area. Short ball forward into the feet of McGinn, who tries to spin away from Berg. Reverse ball forward this time to Watkins. Watkins is put the ball out of play. Thought he was fouled in doing so, but doesn't get it. As we glance down at the field of play here, quick look at the bench for the side. Goalkeeping cover as a Sailor comp. There's two defenders out there on the bench, Diop and Robinson. 4 midfielders. Ball goes forward with Fulham on this near side. Lukic being tracked by Tielemans down to his own dead ball line. Spins Lukic out on this near side. He's now cutting in from this right onto his left foot and rolls the ball back to Anson. Anson out on this near side to Wilson. Wilson down the line to Castagna. Back to Wilson, 12 yards outside the Aston Villa penalty area. Away to my right. Infield it goes to Berg. Berg across to Bassi. Bassi short pass. This time finds Smith Rowe. Smith Rowe tracked by Bogard. Has to go backwards towards the halfway line along the floor into the feet of Bassi. Bassi back to Joachim Andersen inside the centre circle on the Aston Villa side of the pitch. Castagna wants to get involved on this near side. Excellent tackle this time by Sasa Lukic, although he's adjudged to have fouled him, coming in from the side and round the back. Player down, 15 on the clock. Fulham 0, Aston Villa 0. It's still pretty much chanceless between the two. Not too sure that was a foul, just that Buendia got himself caught. Back to those midfielders on the bench. Kenny, Bob, King and Reed. Forwards Muniz and Kusi Asare. They are missing Kenny Tete and they're missing Kevin, and not in the squad is Cuenca and Iwobi from the side for Fulham. Ball is back in play. Villa roll it back to Martinez away to my right hand side. Takes a touch, draws the player on and plays it to Torres. Torres tries to play it forward, but one thing I can tell you about Fulham is they are reading every second ball at the moment and winning it back, and Villa are finding it difficult to get out of their own half. Tielemans to Bogard. Bogard to McGinn, back to Bogard, who's now up and over the halfway line. Short pass out to Morgan Rogers, 4 yards inside the Fulham half, which is to the left of the halfway line. Back it goes from Bogard to Konza. Konza out to Pau Torres. Torres 6, 12, 15 yards inside the Fulham half, which lies to the left of the halfway line. Infield to Tielemans. Tielemans back to the centre spot to Konza. Konza now trying to pick the right pass. Goes out to his right and finds Lamar Bogard. Bogard back this time to Konza. Konza just inside his own half. Give and go this time with Tielemans. And now square to Pau Torres, left-sided centre half. He's under a lot of pressure. Round the corner by Luca Dean. Lovely bring down by Watkins. Back to goal though. Spins out on this near side. Being shepherded there by Joachim Andersen. And Michael Oliver says, "You're a bit too hands-on there, Joachim Andersen." And indeed gives away a free kick. It's grappling him. He's grappling him. And that's what Michael Oliver signifies with his hand gestures. Free kick to Aston Villa, about 10 yards inside the Fulham half. On this near side, about 4 yards in from this Aston Villa left touchline. It'll be swung into the penalty area of Fulham, away to my left, and it's going to be a high line held by Fulham on the edge of their 18-yard box. Yuri Tielemans raises his left arm. He's going to deliver this. Swings it in right-footed. It's a very, very deep one round towards the back post. Two players have a little bit of a coming together. Raul Jimenez and Matty Cash. Clears the pair of them and goes away for a goal kick to Fulham. And it has to be said that the two players had shirts of each other. And in the end, nothing's going to happen more than a goal kick, which, of course, Bernd Leno will take. One arm round one side, one arm round the other side. Well read by our referee. Bassi gets it short from Leno. Into the feet of Smith Rowe. Back this time to Sanderberg. Back it goes to Leno. Back to Sanderberg. Little layoff. And just inside the D of his own penalty area. Anderson plays it out to Bassi. Bassi back inside to Anderson. Anderson 18 yards shy of the halfway line. Fulham defend the goal away to my left and attack the goal away to my right. Out to Bassi. Bassi forward into the feet of Chukwueze. Back it goes to Anderson. Forward it goes to Jimenez. Jimenez looks shades of offside there, but he's trying to get the ball down and he loses it to Buendia. Buendia tries to ferret the ball through past Anderson, who blocks the ball before it gets to Watkins 18 yards inside the Fulham half. Cancelling each other out at the moment in this game here in the Premier League. Goalless between the two. Bassi, Smith Rowe, Berg, centre spot, plays it out to this right-hand side to Wilson. Wilson loves to come in from the right onto his left, into the edge of the box. Little layoff this time. Flag goes up for offside on this near side. Samuel Chukwueze got himself offside. Flag was pretty much up very, very quickly here. 20 on the clock. Fulham 0, Aston Villa 0 here at Craven Cottage. In fairness to the assistant on the near side, he could have picked any one of three that were offside. 20 minutes have elapsed virtually here. Martinez has the ball at his feet. Just into his D, sweeps the ball out of Konza. Konza under pressure, spread away from Smith Rowe, and almost allowed himself to get under pressure there as well. Now he's running back towards his own dead ball line, away to my right hand side. Smith Rowe's there, Jimenez comes in there, Smith Rowe dispossesses him, and it's a rather untidy bit of work on the far side, but the flag has gone up for an offside because Jimenez came in from the wrong side when trying to win that ball back. Marco Silva, pretty impassive down on the bench, got a little replay monitor here, and then becomes very animated because his side don't shut the ball down. Played short to Martinez. Martinez forward to Bogard, and Bogard across to the corner of the penalty area of Aston Villa to the left of Martinez's goal to Torres. Torres back to Martinez. Martinez by the side of his own penalty spot comes forward. He's wearing the sort of orangey pink kit today, if you want to write that down on your notes, if you're listening to my every word. Nobody ever does listen to my every word, in fairness, but if you are, hey, that's the colour of the kit he's wearing. Long ball out towards Matty Cash, but it goes over his head and out of play. Sessegnon with the throw for Fulham midway inside their own half. He throws it in field to find Anderson. Anderson backs away to the edge of his own penalty area, away to my left, and plays it out to the right back Castagna. Castagna faced up by Buendia, turns him around, has to go back to Anderson. Anderson one touch under pressure from Watkins and sweeps the ball back in to Leno. Leno across to Bassi. Good press coming here from Aston Villa this time for the first time. Bassi under pressure from Rodgers. Thumps a long ball up to the halfway line where Jimenez battles with Konza. Jimenez wins it. Lovely reverse ball looking for Wilson, but Michael Oliver had blown the whistle for a foul by Raul Jimenez just about on the halfway line, which meant that the flag didn't need to go up for an offside by Wilson, who looked as though he was just a shade offside. Konza has his free kick for Aston Villa. Going to roll it back now to the keeper Martinez. Martinez just on the D of his own penalty area for Aston Villa. Emiliano Martinez, World Cup winner with Argentina. 33 years of age now. Remember when he was a young boy, in fairness, starting out his loan career at Oxford United some years ago. McGinn comes forward, plays it out to Watkins. Watkins running down the right side of the penalty area of Fulham. Anderson tried to twist away. Watkins has pirouetted, got into the box, back to the edge of the box. It goes to Tielemans from Buendia. Buendia now clips it across to Cash. Cash out to Rodgers. Rodgers now taken on the left back. Overlapping run by Cash. Drilled in. Hits the legs of Sessegnon. Another corner to Aston Villa. Their third of this first half. Two on the spin. And now they get their third, and it's going to be the same side of the pitch as they had before. Luca Digne will go out on the far side to take it. Digne going to swing this one in. 23rd minute of game, just over halfway through the first half. Paul Torres is being ushered off the line by Ryan Sessegnon. Leno in the goal away to my left, looks out to his left, furthest corner away. Digne went short to McGinn this time, but he goes into the box, deep one. Leno pulls it away. He was on the way down as well. It's going to come out on this near side. It's going to be a throw to Aston Villa on the opposite side now. Leno just about got a big outstretched right hand onto it and got it away as Bogard tried to come in round the back. It's going to be a throw to Aston Villa. Luca Digne comes near side from one side of the pitch to the other. He's got support here from Tielemans, and he's about 12 yards away from the dead ball line of Fulham away to my left-hand side. Digne wants some movement. In the corner goes Buendia. Coming short is Watkins. Goes very short to Tielemans. Back to Digne. Digne tries to play the ball forward. This time Wilson plays it off the legs of Luca Digne, who can't believe that he hasn't got a throw there. Wilson walked the other way. Michael Oliver was very quick to say that it wasn't going to be a throw into Aston Villa. Timothy Castagna, the right back now, will look to throw towards the halfway line underneath the shadow of this main stand that's just been built in here at Craven Cottage. Wilson's got himself in behind, tries to hack the ball on. Torres will tidy up. No white shirt in the proximity of that ball played forward by Wilson. Torres coming forward, 2 yards in from this near touchline, plays it in to the feet of Buendia, but it's been given away. Driving forward now, Jimenez into the Aston Villa box, edge of the box, turn and shot, goes low. This time Samuel Chukwueze came out of the penalty area away to my right hand side, span on the sixpence, couldn't get enough left footed power on the shot, and easy for Martinez to go down to his right hand side and take it on the half volley, so to speak, for the keeper. And here we are now inside of 25 minutes. Goalless between Fulham and Aston Villa. Ball is back with Martinez. Martinez knocks a long ball forward up towards Watkins. Watkins and Bassi fall to the floor. Bassi wins the ball back. Played off the legs of Bassi by Sessegnon. Falls nicely to him again. He carries the ball forward before playing it to Sander Berg. Berg tries to slip a ball through the gap. Sessegnon gets it back after a ricochet. Sander Berg now to Bassi. Bassi 12 yards inside the Aston Villa half, which is to the right of the halfway line. Back to the centre spot he goes to Anderson. Anderson lifts the ball over the top, looking for the running behind of Sasa Lukic, but it goes all the way through for a goal kick to Aston Villa. Just at the moment, Aston Villa are making sure that Fulham dink long balls into the box away to my right-hand side. Good pressing by Fulham most of the time, trying to pick up the second ball. And they're trying to run between the gaps between the full-backs and the centre-halves, the Fulham players, but the ball's a little too straight out of play. Well, Aston Villa have just started to pick up their press at the other end of the field. It's very even, Stephen, since the goals will test. There's been no real palm-stinging efforts going in at the moment between these two sides. 25 minutes have elapsed, and it's goalless between Fulham and Aston Villa here at Craven Cottage in the early kick-off here in Blighty in the sunshine in West London. Leno gets the long ball all the way through to his penalty area, away to my left-hand side, stops it and waits for Anderson to take the ball off the edge of the 18. He sweeps the ball out to the left side of centre-half Bassi. Bassi up to the halfway line. Turned back round the corner by Lukic to Berg. Berg forward. It's a nice ball up to Jimenez. Jimenez plays it to Smith Rowe down the line this time. Cross will come in from Sessegnon. Decent ball in, back post, headed away by the left-back Digne. Anderson on the lip of the centre circle on the Aston Villa side for Fulham. To Bassi. Bassi forward. Chance here now for Sessegnon, inside to Sander Berg, back to Sessegnon, back to goal, being held up by Bogard, back to Bassi. Bassi up to the edge of the box, laid off by Smith Rowe. Cross comes in, flicks off the legs of Cash. Third corner of the first half comes for Fulham. Away to my right-hand side, 27 on the clock, still goalless. Fulham versus Aston Villa. Emiliano Martinez looks out to his right-hand side. Furthest corner away, where that little cottage is in the corner here at Craven Cottage, where they walk in and off the pitch. Lukic goes across to take this. He's going to address the ball with his right foot and curl it under the crossbar of the Argentinian Emiliano Martinez. He looks out of his goal. 28th minute, they go short, back it goes, better angle, no, sets the ball out this time. Sessegnon from a different angle, drills it against the body of Buendia. Ball ricochets back to the halfway line, and Sessegnon will turn it back from the halfway line all the way back to his keeper, Bernd Leno, away to my left-hand side. Leno comes out of his goal some 12 yards before sweeping the ball out to the right side of centre-half. Anderson out to Harry Wilson, a little bit deeper here for Harry Wilson. Back it goes to Joachim Anderson. Anderson forward into the feet of Sander Berg. Berg square, 8 yards inside his own half to Bassi. Bassi over the halfway line to Smith Rowe. Back to Bassi and inside to Berg. Berg does a full 360 and plays it now square to his right-hand side to Anderson. Anderson up to the feet. Little flick inside by Lukic, cut out by Konza and Tielemans. Villa try and break forward. They will break forward with McGinn. McGinn holds the ball up very well. Layoff to Morgan Rogers. Rogers now bearing down on the penalty area of Fulham. Turns round, goes onto his left foot, tries to curl it in with his left foot, but it's always going high, wide, and not so very handsome over the top of the crossbar of Bernd Leno away to my left-hand side. It is an intriguing game. It's a very open game. It's lacking real goal scoring opportunities so far after 29 minutes, but it's still goalless between Fulham and Aston Villa as we head towards the final 15 minutes. Attempts-wise, it's been 4 for Fulham and 3 for Aston Villa. 3 on target for Fulham. Struggling to remember those just at the moment, but either way, yeah, they haven't been fizzers. Let's put it that way. They are quite right. They haven't been fizzers. Been a header by Jimenez. There's been a shot from Chuck Buezi. That's 2 that I can remember, and I'm pretty sure Martinez had to go down to his left-hand side with one early on, and that could have been from a shot from the edge of the box which lacked any pace and penetration. Near side though, midway inside the Aston Villa half, which is to the left of the halfway line. Castagna back inside to Anderson. Anderson back out to Castagna. Castagna, a little short ball to Wilson. Wilson back into Castagna, back on the halfway line, into his own half by some 6 yards to Anderson. Anderson square to left-sided centre-half Bassi. Bassi tries to clip the ball down the channel on the Aston Villa right-hand side, but cut out by Bogard. Bogard now finds Tielemans. Tielemans gets it forward to McGinn. McGinn wrestled to the floor on the halfway line by Sessegnon, who grabbed his arm and pulled him to the floor. Going to be a free kick to Aston Villa. So it really is bearing down and kissing a spring-like day here in Blighty. So a little saying earlier on today that you've got the heating on overnight, you've got a jacket on first thing in the morning, you're putting sunscreen on around about 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, by 5 o'clock you're putting after sun on, and by 6 o'clock you're putting the heating back on. That is the weather in England at the moment. Thrown down the far touchline, headed away by Anderson, halfway line. Chukwueze heads it back towards his own goal. Rodgers tries to help it on, cleared by Anderson, brought down by Tielemans. Buendia back to Pau Torres. Torres some 6 yards inside his own half. Makes it to the halfway line. Remember, Aston Villa defend the goal away to my right, and Fulham defend the goal away to my left. Tries to play a ball down the channel, looking for the run of the left back Digne, but it's too long, too strong, and out of play for a goal kick to Bernd Leno, and Fulham away to my left-hand side. Leno this time allows Bassi to play it to himself from the goal kick, and then it's back to Bassi. Bassi now playing where the auxiliary left back would be, down the line, into the feet this time of Lukic, turned inside to Berg. Berg back to Anderson, and Anderson out to Timothy Castagna, who goes up and over the halfway line. Driving forward, midway inside the Villa half, cuts in field, short pass this time to Lukic. Lukic thwarted by Tielemans, plays it out to Wilson. Wilson comes in from his right to his left, back to Lukic. Lukic into the feet of Samuel Chukwueze, slips the ball through. Wilson's going to be forced away from goal, down to the dead ball line virtually, sets it back, cross goes in by Lukic, brought down by Jimenez, back to goal, tries to set a shot up for Berg. Berg's shot loops off the legs of Bogard from 20 yards and safely nestles into the hands above his head of Emiliano Martinez, away to my right-hand side. Martinez picks the ball up and rolls it out to the left-sided centre half. And it was Torres back this time inside to Martinez. Martinez now will just take his time before walking it out to the edge of the penalty area of Aston Villa, way to my right. Short ball forward to Tielemans, back to Martinez and across to Pau Torres, who has to scuttle away to his left and then stretch out with his left boot to get it under control. Plays the ball up this time into the feet of Morgan Rodgers, but Rodgers again well and truly shackled there by the Fulham centre half, Joachim Andersen. They really are pressing on very, very quickly. What will the managers be thinking about? We're still 13 minutes away from the end of the first half, but their collective thoughts will be now exposed. The game plans of the two sides will be exposed for these managers to look into now. McGinn gets brought to the floor on the far side by Sessegnon. Free kick to Villa, 6 yards inside their own half. Konsa will come forward to take it. Aston Villa defend the goal away to my right and attack the goal away to my left, and conversely Fulham go the other way, or else it'll be a pretty strange game. Ball to Bogard from Konsa, back to Torres. Torres to Tielemans. Tielemans faced by Lukic. Does a dangerous ball inside. McGinn gets there before Sessegnon, plays it back to Konsa. Konsa now out to Cash. Cash 15 yards inside his own half. Villa defend the goal away to my right, so that half is to the right of the halfway line. Round the corner by McGinn. That's a lovely ball this time now. There's a break on Morgan Rodgers, popping up on the left-hand side. Drives into the box face by Anderson. Cuts away to his right boot. Goes across the face of goal. Fires a low shot wide this time of Leno's left-hand post, and that was the best moment of the game there. Morgan Rodgers down the left, inside on his right, across Anderson, across everybody. It's a lovely first-time ball by John McGinn. Not the sort of ball you'd normally play for him, because he's more tenacious and gritty in his game. Cut across Anderson, cut across Wilson, cut across him again, and then fired a shot low towards the bottom left-hand corner of Leno's net. He wouldn't have got that, but it went wide of the goal, so he didn't have to. It remains goalless here as we inch ever closer to the 35th minute. We're in it now. Long ball forward, looking for the runner. Jimenez picked off nicely by Martinez. I suppose that's the closest we've come to a goal in this first half, as Torres makes his way to the halfway line. Okay, Silva in the right and technical areas. I looked down, both wearing black jackets and black tops and black trousers. That's why I got it mixed up, and black hair. Ball goes forward, edge of the box. Watkins holds it up. Lovely footwork to get away from Anderson, and this time he flashes a shot across the face of the goal of Bernd Leno's goal, and this time it's wide of the right post. Leno looked out of the goal away to my left-hand side as Watkins held up Anderson, held him off, feigned one way, turned around, and then fizzed a shot across from Leno's left to his right. Just wide again, twice now that they have put the ball just wide of Leno's post. Aston Villa just starting to maybe get on top here. Remains goalless here though between Fulham and Aston Villa as we go into the 36th minute. Leno, goal kick away to my left, thumps a long ball forward. Wilson beaten in the air by Digne, near side, hooked over the head of Castagna by Buendia. Watkins tries to lay the ball off, and it's turned back to his own keeper from just inside his own half by Lukic. Leno plays the ball out this time to Joachim Andersen. Joachim Andersen square this time to Calvin Bassey. Bassey up to the halfway line. Short ball in field to Berg. Berg edges his way slightly right hand side. Plays a lovely ball through. Finds a nice hold to Raul Jimenez. Jimenez is upended right on the D of the penalty area. The Mexican fouled this time by the Frenchman Luca Digne. Got away. No, it's not Luca Digne. Apologies. It's the Argentine Emiliano Buendia that's fouled him. Good place for a free kick here coming late on in the game. Just maybe too close to get it up and down. It's got to be done with real fizz. Harry Wilson will fancy his chances here. Good work by Raul Jimenez there. Drawing the foul from Emiliano Buendia. Well, as Martinez looks out of that goal away to my right-hand side, if the penalty spot and centre spot at 12 o'clock, this is about 3 minutes to the hour. Just on the lip of the D of the Aston Villa penalty area away to my right-hand side. Harry Wilson stands over it. Raul Jimenez stands over it. Emiliano Martinez makes sure that his left-hand post is covered. John McGinn is a draft excluded behind Rogers, Paul Torres, Ezri Konsa and Ollie Watkins. Both players, Wilson and Jimenez, measure out their paces back like a former rugby player. Wilson into the wall from 20 yards, hits the legs of Watkins who chases the ball out. Sessegnon plays it far side. Emil Smith-Rowe being held up by Cash, has to fade the ball back inside to Lukic. Lukic looks for a ball over the top. Surely Sessegnon's offside across the face of goal, and a double effort by Raul Jimenez ends up being saved firstly by the goalkeeper and then by the legs of the covering defender, but the flag has gone up for offside, which ruined all my excitement. Jimenez had just popped himself offside. It was cleared by two, and gets played by Torres and Konsa, but the flag would have come to the aid of Aston Villa there had the ball nestled in the back of the net. Unai Emery looking a little bit disconcerted on this near side as the game remains goalless here on 38 minutes here at Craven Cottage. Thumped long by Martinez, swept forward right-footed from my right to my left. Watkins is beaten in the air by Anderson, halfway line. Tielemans gets a little bit on it. Konsa gets it down. Rolls it back as he's accosted by Chukwueze. Back to Cash. Cash tries to play it forward. Headed by Sanderberg. Halfway line brought down by Lamar Bogard. McGinn tries to get away from Sessegnon. Samuel Chukwueze comes away with the ball, plays it into Fida Jimenez. Jimenez's first time layoff is off balance and falls to the feet of Rogers. Rogers tries to feed it through the two centre halves, looking to the run beyond by Watkins, cut out by a mixture of Anderson and Bassey. Played the ball out this time to Sessegnon, 18 yards inside the Fulham half, which is to the left of the halfway line. It's going to be Berg who plays the ball across this time to Bassey. Bassey back to Sanderberg. Berg square to the right back Castagna. Castagna looks for a ball down the channel. Good run going through here by Jimenez, who hooks it into the penalty area of Villa. It's a good ball, goes right across the face of goal, picked up on the far side by Smith-Rowe. Smith-Rowe level the 18-yard box, faced by Cash, slips the ball in. A good run by Chukwueze, tries to play it in, blocked by the legs of Konsa. Ricochet favours Martinez down by his right post just to fall on it and smother it. No real pace or purpose after the deflection had taken all the pace off the ball. Well, Jimenez with an excellent ball into the box just moments ago there. 40th minute of the game. Fulham 0, Aston Villa 0. We head towards the break. And again, both these sides are giving it everything they've got in the locker at the moment. Cash tries to play the ball down on the line on the far side of the pitch, blocked by the legs of Chuck Ruizy, and it goes out of play for a throw to Aston Villa, about 12 yards away from the corner flag, defended by Matty Cash on the right-hand side. Stuart Bird and James Mannering either side of the flank here. Thrown up to the halfway line. Rogers loses out to Bassi. Sessegnon plays it forward. Smith Rowe tries to get the ball down. Falls to the floor after Matty Cash comes in to contest it, but Michael Oliver said it's not a foul. It was a handball by the Fulham player. Taken too quickly for Michael Oliver's liking, and it's got to be taken again here at Craven Cottage. Michael Oliver's hair suddenly going very grey. Maybe it's the worry of what we can only describe as the World Cup looming for him. Him and Anthony Taylor, the English representatives in the officialdom world. Bogard back to Cash. Cash back to Konza. Konza inside to Martinez. Martinez sweeps the ball forward. Again with a little header. Not finding an intended claret and blue shirt. And Wilson on the halfway line. Does a full 360. Gets away from Buendia and then pushes Wilson to the floor, which is not very good. You know, the Buendia, former Norwich man, had a little degree of petulance in him over the years. He's sort of calmed that down, but presently he's dashing and diving in and giving away a free kick. 42nd minute here at Craven Cottage. Free kick 6 yards inside the half of Villa. Anderson plays it in field inside the centre circle on the Villa side of the pitch, which is to the right of the halfway line, to Sander Berg. Berg back to Anderson. Anderson now options down to the right back, Castagna. Castagna inside to Wilson. Wilson surrounded by three, plays it back to Anderson. Anderson again wants an option. The option is Wilson. Wilson back to Anderson, 6 yards inside the half of Villa. Plays it back to the centre spot and infield to Bassi. Bassi back to Anderson, who's now 18 yards inside his own half. And under pressure from Watkins, he turns around and plays it all the way back to his keeper, Bernd Leno. Leno out to the left-hand side of his penalty area, where Bassi plays the ball forward. Chance for Chuck Ruizy to try and spin away. Does so. Plays it square this time. Castagna on the charge forward. The former Leicester man driving forward. 12 yards, 6 yards outside the penalty area. Ball in. First time header. This time goes in. It's turned goalwards this time, and it's played in by Ryan Sessegnon for the first goal of the game on 43. A really decent move there. Sessegnon picks up the pieces and puts it into the back of the net. It was a great save, in fairness, by Martinez as the cross came in. Aston Villa got themselves completely undone by the cross. Sessegnon picks up his goal in the Premier League. Really was well played. Sessegnon just picking up the pieces. The ball was played down this near side. Castagna with the break. Drove it forward. Flicked the ball in. It was over the head of Jimenez. A header by Lukic was parried away by Martinez, and then some 8 yards out is Ryan Sessegnon just to sweep the ball into the back of the net. Past everybody on the goal line. Konza. Lukic straight at Martinez, who just palmed it straight back into the danger zone, and Sessegnon said thank you very much, and with the instep of his left boot put it through the legs of Konza for the first goal of the game. And Marco Silva's side take the lead, and Unai Emery's side fall behind to a goal from Ryan Sessegnon. Good save by Martinez, but maybe just parried it out into the middle of the penalty area and not safe. Ball is back in play here at Craven Cottage, and that will affect. That's the worst time in the world for any side to concede. It's a great time for anybody in the world to score. And the two managers now, the head coaches Marco Silva and Unai Emery's team talks will change unbelievably so now with just a couple of minutes to go. Long ball forward this time. Wilson heads the ball out of play. Corner to Aston Villa. They're fourth of the first half, but for the first time they're going to swing it in from a different angle. Goal away to my left-hand side. Bernd Leno looks out to his right. Yuri Tielemans will take this corner. Can Aston Villa strike back deep on in the 45th minute? We're waiting to see how many minutes are going to be added on at the end of this first 45, but there's a corner for Leno to deal with away to my left-hand side. Tielemans going to sweep it in right-footed. Signals again, left-handed. Curls it into the front post. Headed out of play at the front post again by Wilson. Gives away another corner. Fifth of Aston Villa's in the first half. Going to be the same side. Leno in goal away to my left-hand side. Well, it's not actually gone out for a corner. I thought it gone out for a corner. I had to peer forward from my vantage point here. It's going to be a throw in. Luca Digne is going to put it into the box this time with a long throw. Goes short, gets it back from Buendia. Digne back to Buendia. Back there it goes to Tielemans. Better angle. Tielemans back down the left to Digne. Digne inside to Buendia. Buendia faced by Wilson. 12 yards from the dead ball line. Little left foot cross goes in. Comes off the foot of Wilson. Cleared by Castagna. Hooked over his head by Wilson. Away from his penalty area. Brought down by Tielemans. Still 1-0 to Fulham as we go into the 46 minutes. Still waiting to see how many minutes are going to be added on here. Just the 1 minute. McGinn this time, right-hand side for Villa, plays it back into the feet of Konsa. Konsa 4 yards from the halfway line, inside the Fulham half to Torres. Torres to Buendia. Buendia to Tielemans. Tielemans back to Konsa. Aston Villa being forced back to the halfway line. Played out to McGinn. McGinn this time with a right foot ball into the box. Out comes Leno. Leno goes up with Rogers, palms the ball down. Referee will blow for the foul on Morgan Rogers, who tried to jump with the keeper away to my left-hand side. Going to be a free kick late on. We've got about 19 seconds left of a minimum of 1 minute to go. Goal scored on 43 by Sessegnon, turning in a parried save from a Lukic header by Martinez. Goal away to my right-hand side on 43. Turned it in from 8 yards. Good cross in by Castagna. Headed goalwards by Lukic. Parried away by Martinez. Sessegnon swept in the rebound. As the referee says that is enough for the first half, and it remains here as they go off here. Two managers got some thinking to do. Unai Emery and Marco Silva. Fulham 1, Aston Villa 0. Do join us for the second half. Hello and welcome back to live commentary on Fulham versus Aston Villa, where at the break I can tell you that it is Fulham that lead the way by a Ryan Sessegnon goal between these two sides here at the break. They're both out on the field of play now and looking very much as though they mean business. It is going to be a pretty close encounter. You fancy corners 4 to Aston Villa in the first half, just 1 to Fulham, 53% for Fulham and 47% for Aston Villa. So very even Stevens. Shots as well, total 8 for Fulham, 5 on target, 5 for Aston Villa, just 1 on target. The two sides make their way out onto the field of play. Let's start with the home side, who is Fulham. They are in all white today. Leno in goal. They have a back four from right to left. Castagna, Anderson, Bassi and Sessegnon. Lukic and Berg are the holding midfielders, with Wilson, Smith-Rowe and Chukwueze in behind Raul Jimenez at the top of the park. For Aston Villa, it's Martinez in goal. A back four from left to right of Digne, Torres, Konza and Cash, with Lamar Bogard and Yuri Tillemans holding in the middle of the park. 3 behind, Ollie Watkins at the top of the park in the shape of McGinn, Rogers and Buendia. It has not been the best start. It's been a pretty much front foot performance from Fulham when they haven't got the football, but indeed they are now looking to try and make their way back into the game. They need it. They can almost smell Champions League football. They can almost taste Champions League football, but they won't. If they don't get 3 points today, it'll be a little bit further away than it is. The referee today is Michael Oliver, assisted by Stuart Bird and James Mannery. Fourth official and board man is Anthony Backhouse, and Paul Howard is monitor man for the game today. Aston Villa in the second half will defend the goal away to my left-hand side. I face the pitch very much as you'll see televisual pictures on your television screens from any games from Craven Cottage. I can tell you that today's bench is for the two sides. For Fulham, their goalkeeping cover is Lecomte. They have on the bench the following players: Harrison Reed, Rodrigo Muniz, Tom Kearney, Oscar Bob, Jonah Asare, Issa Diop and Anthony Robertson. Mainly, I would say, a couple of midfielders in there. Josh King is the one that everybody's raving about at the moment. The game is underway at the start of the second half. Aston Villa claret and blue shirts, claret shorts and claret socks, trying to get over the halfway line. They have on the bench Bizot, Lindelof, Mings, Barkley, Abraham, Sancho, Louise, Martson and Bailey. Right. Buendia's been upended by Castagna, and it's going to be a free kick to Aston Villa, about 4 yards inside the half. I think the yellow card has been dished out this time for Timothy Castagna. The 30-year-old Belgian player gets a flash of the yellow card from our referee Michael Oliver, who is just starting to go a little bit grey around the gills, I think. Crossfield ball, near side, can't be brought down by Cash, goes straight out of play. It's going to be a throw, which the left-back Ryan Sessegnon, and goal scorer today for Fulham, will take, level with his own 18-yard box, away to my left-hand side. Fulham defend the goal away to my right, attack the goal away to my left, and Aston Villa defend the goal away to my left and attack the goal away to my right. Thrown long, headed down this time by Tielemans, but out of play, and Sessegnon garners some 15 yards on this near side to take another throw. Well, it has been what I can only describe as a very even contest between these two sides. 13 points separates them in the table as Torres heads the ball forward. Cushioned down this time by Castagna. Ball breaks to Wilson. Wilson's got away from Digne, fires a shot in, dragged it horribly there, got it right on the top of the ball, and it's gone wide. It looks as though the referee's having a little think about whether it got a deflection. Wilson is trying to convince him that it has, but header forward there, little flick. Wilson managed to get away, span inside of Digne from his outside, if that makes perfect sense for you. And the ball goes away on this near side for a goal kick. Aston Villa have taken it. They play the ball forward. Tielemans tries to get away from the close attentions of Sasa Lukic in the middle of the park, and the man is brought down. The Belgians got the ball again, and again Lukic is all over him like a rash. Plays forward to McGinn. McGinn this time maybe on the periphery of the game, trying to run away from the goal scorer Sessegnon, back in his own half. Plays it out on the far side of the pitch, and Aston Villa try and come forward. Buendia lays it off to Watkins. Watkins back to Buendia on the halfway line. infield and back into his own half to Konsa. Konsa being pushed backwards by Smith Rowe. Their press has been very, very aggressive today and very good. That's a lovely ball around the corner by Buendia, turned on by Roger, cleared by Anderson. Back to the halfway line it goes. Bogard finds Tielemans. Tielemans lifts it over the top, looking for the run through of Watkins. Good header away by Bassi this time, halfway line. Buendia's been dispossessed. Now a drive is on here. Coming forward, Sander Berg plays it with the outside of his boot to Raul Jimenez, who's going down the right-hand side for Fulham and the left for Aston Villa. Pau Torres this time with a little arm on it. Drags back Raul Jimenez, and Villa profligate there with the ball. Jimenez had got away from Torres. Torres ended up just pulling the Mexican to the floor. Free kick, 50 minutes on the clock. Fulham 1, Aston Villa 0. Torres gets a yellow card to go with Castaña's yellow card just moments ago. Free kick for Fulham. This is in a dangerous area. Real nice sort of short corner if you've ever played field hockey. Lukic is going to take this. He's going to use his right boot with Wilson. They're 3 yards away from the dead ball line, about 2 yards outside Martinez, left-hand side of his penalty area. Fired in by Wilson, headed away by Konsa, headed back in by Bassi, and harmlessly runs all the way through the penalty area for a goal kick to Aston Villa away to my left-hand side. Marco Silva never looks happy. You know, I know you wouldn't be happy if you were a Premier League manager. You're always one poor game away from possibly getting a little bit of a telling off at boardroom level, but never looks happy. No matter where he's been, he's never looks happy. Ball goes up to the halfway line. Morgan Rogers is being held up by Bassi. In the end, coming back, Sander Berg plays the ball at a play, but Michael Oliver, our referee, has decided there was a little too much grappling there. Unai Emery wears a frown of a worried man. Deep furrows on the brow as Cash rolls the ball back in field to Konsa. Konsa 15 yards inside the Aston Villa half, which lays to the left of the halfway line. Up to the lip of the centre circle, Aston Villa side, plays it out to his left-hand side to Torres. Torres with a diagonal, trying to find McGinn. Does find McGinn. McGinn lifts the ball down the line to Rogers. Rogers drills it against the legs this time of Bassi. Double ricochet favours the Fulham man, and it's gone away for a Fulham goal kick. Alvin Bassi retains the ball. Just a forlorn-looking Unai Emery comes and rubs his face. Goal kick. Led out to Bassi. Bassi down the line. Rogers not the same player as he was in that purple patch for Aston Villa. Certainly a player that England will be relying on, but it just seems to me from a commentary point of view as though he's lost a little bit of zest for the game. He'll throw back to Konsa, Cash to Konsa, back to Cash, Cash back to Konsa. Konsa turns it back into his own penalty area, over to my left-hand side, where Martinez now comes forward 12 yards outside the penalty area. Right foot ball smites it from my left to my right. Target is Rogers. Rogers gets it down, body across the ball, being held up by Bassi, falling to the floor, tries to flick it round the corner from McGinn, cleared by Anderson and Sessegnon. Up towards the halfway line, Raul Jimenez with a spectacular thrust to the floor in front of Lamar Bogard, who says you have been sold an absolute kipper there by the referee. Torres has gone forward, and Jimenez really has. Well, he's done so well there. He's gone forward with a little push in the back and pushed his legs right high up behind him. Looks a bit theatrical. Michael Oliver bought it, and the foul was given. Free kick. Anderson stands over the ball for Fulham inside the centre circle on the Fulham side of the pitch, which is to the right of the halfway line. Smites it right-footed out to the left-hand side, brought down by Chuck Wuazy, down by the dead ball line, drags it into the Villa box. Tielemans back to Konsa. Konsa inside his 6-yard box, away to my left, thumps it long up to the halfway line. Good work again. Fulham break forward, a little ball through the legs of Cash by Chuck Wuazy, looking for the run of Smith Rowe. Aston Villa can't get the ball away, and in the end a loose touch by Buendia does find Tielemans. Tielemans finds Bogard. Bogard now finds McGinn. McGinn finds Buendia. Buendia now with a chance to run. Plays it left-hand side to Watkins. Watkins with the overlapping run by Digne. Digne clips the ball in. It's too long, too strong, and over the head of the man at the back post, who was Morgan Rogers inside the 6-yard box. And Fulham with Sessegnon pick up the pieces and smite the ball up towards the halfway line. Jimenez brings down Konsa this time as he tries to head the ball. And on 54, we're going to have a free kick for Aston Villa. League tried to clip it in for the head of Roger, but it was a little too heavy. And Unai Emery, who wears his heart on his sleeve, certainly wasn't best impressed with the depth on that kick. Tielemans to Konza. Konza back to Tielemans. Tielemans to Cash. Cash 6 yards inside the half of Fulham. Down this right-hand side he goes to McGinn. McGinn cuts in on his left foot. Kroll kills the ball into the box. Knocked away by Anderson. McGinn gets a bit on it. Tielemans tries to get it back on this near side. And good play in the end by McGinn. But I think Sessegnon's done enough to get the ball out of play for a goal kick away to my right-hand side for Fulham. Unai Emery, what does he do? How does he change things up? That is the question. Well, he does have attacking prowess on the bench today in the shape of, he says looking at the, there's attacking prowess in the shape of Sancho Bailey and Tammy Abraham. If he wants to change things up, he has the probing of Rox Barkley that he can change things up with as well, should he fancy it. What will he do? Wait until 60 minutes. Fulham currently trying to clear their own penalty area. Way to my left. Little flick by Omen Smith-Rowe. Falls at the feet of Lukic. Lukic forward now to Jimenez. Jimenez out to Chuck Ruizy. Chuck Ruizy tracking out on this near side by Cash. Cash dispossesses him. Tight on this touchline. Tries to spin away from Chuck Ruizy, who holds him and falls to the floor. And doesn't get the throw in or the foul. But it's going to be an angry Cash that sees Fulham take the throw. Berg back to Bassi. Bassi forward into the feet of Lukic, across the halfway line to Berg. Berg back into his own half, some 24 yards to Bassi. Bassi away to the right of the halfway line. Ambles his way to his right, stops and short passes it to Anderson. Anderson out to the right back, Castagna. Castagna who supplied the cross for Lukic to put a header goalwards for Martinez to parry it out on 43 minutes for Sessegnon to sweep in left-footed from 8 yards in the first half. 55 minutes have elapsed here. It's still Fulham 1, Aston Villa 0. Turned in field this time. Picked off by Sasa Lukic. Comes forward, plays it back out. Rampaging right back. Castagna crosses it in. Wilson had got him behind. Konza flag goes up. Just went a little too early there. Far side of the pitch. Harry Wilson. A lot of people's shopping lists possibly at the end of this footballing season. Just gone in front of Konza, maybe a yard and a half. Flag correctly put up on the far side of the pitch. Aston Villa try and bring themselves forward with Konza. Konza 6 yards shy of the halfway line. He's going to play it to the left side of centre half Torres. Torres up to the halfway line. In the sunshine here at Craven Cottage in West London. Back he goes to the right side of centre half Konza. Konza out to the right back Cash. Cash turns it round the corner. Rogers with a toe in. Can't find McGinn. Cleared by Sessegnon to Bassi. Bassi up and over the halfway line in front of the technical areas. Tries to flick it down the line. Cleared by Cash. Out of play on this near side for a throw. So Fulham just inside the half of Aston Villa. Sessegnon takes his time retrieving the ball on this near side. 57th minute of the game. Sessegnon, ball in hands, looking around now, launches it into the chest of Jimenez. His chest is headed away by Bogart. Cash can't keep it in play. It's going to be another throw to Fulham. Just about 24 yards away from the corner flag, defended by the right back Cash, away to my left-hand side. Thrown in by Sessegnon, hooked on this time by Chuck Ruizy, and Konza down the side of his own penalty area to Martinez's right. Plays it back to Martinez, who plays it out to Torres. Torres to Luca Digne. Digne back to Torres on the edge of his own penalty area. Back in towards the penalty spot where Martinez will sweep it out with his left boot to his right side to Konza. Konza finds Cash. Cash tries to play it in, given away. Cut out rather easy. Ball through the centre. Martinez has to smother. Aston Villa making heavy weather through their own mistakes. Tielemans comes forward. Plays it out to Cash on this near side. Clips the ball in. McGinn's got to run down to the dead ball line. Evades it. Cash is having a moment to forget at the moment. Don't worry about Cash at the moment. Everything's not really going right for him. But whether Aston Villa decide to drop to a 3 and bring on Victor Lindelof, I don't know. But they'll try and push Maatsen forward if he came on for Digne to be more of a wing back. Difficult questions for Unai Emery to think about as Fulham clear their lines. Basile on ball forward. Jimenez is the target. Clears ahead of Jimenez and Konza. Torres back to Martinez, who scuttles out to the right side of his goal, away to my left. Plays it to Konza. Konza back to Martinez. Martinez plays the ball out to Pau Torres. Torres far side of the pitch. Going forward. 10 attempts now for Fulham in this game. 5 on target. 5 still for Aston Villa, not one in the second half. Chance now for Bogard, plays it to McGinn. McGinn first time layoff to Buendia, back to McGinn. McGinn out to Cash now. Cash got to try and take on Sessegnon. Sessegnon cuts the angle down, forces him back to Bogard. Bogard back to Konza. Konza 4 yards inside the half of Fulham. Into the feet of Tielemans. Tielemans square to the left-sided centre-half. Torres down that far touchline to Digne. Digne comes in field to Buendia. Nice football here by Villa. Not going anywhere, though. It's a crossfield ball by Tielemans, finds Cash. Cash slips it down the line for Rodgers. Back inside to Cash. Good covering this time by Anderson. Clears his lines as Cash tried to pounce on the ball inside the Fulham penalty area. 60 on the clock now. Time for those managers to maybe look at changing things up. You often think. Certainly Unai Emery, who's side trailed by a goal to nil. Ball forward into the feet of Watkins. Watkins back to Buendia, back to Torres, forward to McGinn. First time layoff to Watkins. Watkins has a go, took it on the stride into the box on his left foot. Right foot shot high over the top of the crossbar. Don't look at Unai Emery, Oliver Watkins, because he thinks you should have done better. It's an excellent bit of play there. 18 yards out, but he's flashed it high with his right boot. Sliced it awfully into the fans behind the goal on this near side. And Unai Emery is really animated on the touchline. Needs his side to get back on level terms. How long will he wait before maybe Tammy Abrahams is given a shout? Anybody that makes a mistake in the next few minutes, I reckon, could be earmarked to come off for Aston Villa. Cash plays the ball back to Konza. Konza inside his own penalty area. He does wear his heart on his sleeve. Konza, lovely ball through, finds Buendia. Buendia down the left-hand side, finds Luca Digne. Digne, good 12 yards outside the line of the 18-yard box. Plays it inside, this time to Tielemans. Tielemans to Buendia. Buendia back to the halfway line to Torres. Torres square to Konza. Konza 3 yards inside his own half. Plays it out to the right back. Cash back to Konza. Konza, little ball to the centre spot to Tielemans. Tielemans, the prober, up to the feet of Rodgers. Back this time to Bogard. Can't get the ball through, blocked by the body of Sessegnon. Balloons back to the halfway line where Konza plays the ball to Torres. Torres goes for a left to right to find McGinn. McGinn brings it down. Sessegnon closes him down, rolls it back to the feet of Cash. Cash back to McGinn. McGinn level the 18-yard box of Fulham, away to my right-hand side. Short pass to Lamar Bogard. Back it goes to Konza. Konza to Torres. Torres, little straight ball looking for the run this time of Morgan Rodgers, but again the angle isn't good and it goes straight out of play away to my right-hand side for a goal kick to Fulham. Well, Aston Villa have got to try and pick up the pace here. They've got to find something. They've had very few chances at the start of this second half, and Fulham very much buoyed by the way the game is going, but it's only 1-0, and if I'm Marco Silva, that's the thing I'm worried about at the moment. I'm only a goal to the good. Smited along from my right to my left by Leno, headed on this time by Jimenez out towards Wilson, and it goes out of play on the far side of the pitch. FA Cup semi-final number 1, Manchester City Southampton from Wembley Stadium later on this afternoon, 5:15 British summertime kick-off time here. Marco Silva's side have just conceded a throw just about on the halfway line on the far side of the pitch. They'll throw in Digne to Tielemans. Tielemans flicks it round the corner back into his own half to Konza. Konza out to Matthew Cash. Cash with a bit of time and space. Can he measure a right foot ball in the box? No. He goes inside to McGinn. McGinn turns into trouble. Smith Rowe gets the ball across to Lukic. Lukic tries to play the ball out to Jimenez. Jimenez wins it before Digne can get there. Back to Wilson. Wilson and Jimenez exchange passes. Wilson tries to go past Digne on the halfway line. Loses out. Villa back in possession. Bogard. Buendia. McGinn, lip of the centre circle on the Fulham side of the pitch. Into the feet of Tielemans. Tielemans has got Luca Digne. Digne 8 yards away from the dead ball line. Left foot ball into the box is too deep, too strong. Headed away by Sessegnon. Villa starting to pour on a bit of pressure on the Fulham goal here without creating chances. Catch down the line to McGinn. McGinn inside to Rodgers. Rodgers slips the ball in. Good run by Cash. Dead ball line. Tries to pull it back. Hits the derriere this time of the track in Sanderberg. And goes away and thumped long towards the halfway line. Near side, Konza under pressure from 2, tries to play it back, and it comes off the legs this time of Chukwueze and hits Konza's leg and goes out of play. It's going to be a Fulham throw. 64th minute of the game. Jimenez feigns to pick the ball up and now legs it away. This will see Aston Villa stay in 4th position, some 3 points clear of Liverpool. Liverpool have a game in hand, and 8 points clear of Brighton in 6th. But still not a good result if you are chasing your way forward. Ball goes back from Bassey to Bernd Leno, away to my right. Leno sweeps the ball out to Castagna. Castagna down the side of his own penalty area, plays it into a vacant space, which has got Sander Berg gambling with the ball up to the halfway line. Slips a straight ball through to Emil Smith-Rowe. Smith-Rowe up to the edge of the box, fires a shot in, hits the legs of Torres, goes away for a corner to Fulham, away to my left-hand side. Well, Emil Smith-Rowe had a chance to pull the trigger. First Fulham corner of the second half. Goal away to my left-hand side. Martinez looks out to his right. Going across to take it, wearing number 20. Sasa Lukic is coming on. Rodrigo Muniz is about to come on, we believe, from the bench for Fulham. It would be a straight change with Jimenez, you would fancy. 65 minutes have almost elapsed. Lukic curls this into the box. It's a deep one round the back. It's 2-0. It's a free header running in round the back. Timothy Castagna, architect for the first goal, has buried a header, but Michael Oliver has seen an infringement. Castagna's joy is cut short there by a foul by a Fulham player inside the 6-yard box. Joachim Andersen is trying hard to wonder exactly why. We'll get to see a replay in just a moment. Yeah, Sander Berg just held the keeper on the line. Fairly evident as well. Just pushed Martinez back and allowed the ball to go straight over the top of Martinez, who I think would have caught that and headed in at the back post by Timothy Castagna. Well worked on the training ground, but a foul has been given by Michael Oliver. Sharp, eagle-eyed Michael Oliver. As the ball is going to be taken for a free kick, but it is Rodrigo Muniz that is coming on, and it is Raul Jimenez that has gone off. So the man that hasn't scored since last September replaces a man that has been on a hot streak in Jimenez, but he's run himself into the ground up front. Ball is back in play on 67. Torres up to the halfway line. Diagonal ball, looking right-hand side. That is so into space and easy for Bernd Leno to catch quite safely. He takes his time, runs back to the penalty spot in his own penalty area for rolling out right-footed to the left-sided centre-half Bassey. Bassey goes outside Rogers, lifts the ball forward, looking for the run this time of Rodrigo Muniz. Headed down by Martinez, who come over his goal to the right-back catch. Flag has gone up on the far side of the pitch, and back in play we go. Konza to Torres. Torres now into the field of Tielemans. I can't see Aston Villa scoring at the moment, and that is, if you're a Villa fan listening to this, they have had plenty of football, but I just can't see them actually fashioning a chance here. Watkins has had nothing to deal with or have a go at goal with here. McGinn gets the ball this time to Buendia, who can't get it down, and it bounces away from him. It's thumped away by Joachim Andersen. Near side, Cash will see the ball go out of play for a throw to Aston Villa. He throws it back to the edge of his penalty area, away to my left to Konza. Konza goes from right to left to Torres. Torres now will now break forward 12 yards inside the Fulham half. Straight ball through to the feet of Watkins, who drags it round, but it's taken off his toes by Sander Berg. This seems to be the game plan of Fulham. They're just waiting for like the second touch of Aston Villa's players and taking it off their toes. Torres has the ball down from a cushioned header from Konza. He's 15 yards inside the Villa half, which lays to the left of the halfway line. Still, the ball is played by Torres. Back to Konza, back to Torres. Torres forward to Buendia. Buendia cuts across his man, blocked as he tries to pass it by Sander Berg, and the ball ricochets harmlessly along the floor all the way back to Martinez. Aston Villa have really enjoyed the second half possession, but they have not yet fashioned any clear-cut chances, which, if you're a fan, you'll know what this phrase is. We could be here until the middle of next week and still not score. Near side, Cash gets the ball down, rolls it past Sessegnon, backheel by Rodgers, who was, along with everybody in the forward four for Aston Villa, been totally on the periphery in this game. Watkins, Rodgers, McGinn, Buendia, they have all been on the periphery. There's going to be changes here for Aston Villa. I think there's two being readied down below. Can't really see from my commentary position. Throw in. Matthew Cash is going to take. Throws it into the box for McGinn, headed away by Bassey. Is that going to go away for a corner? It does go away for a corner to Aston Villa, away to my right-hand side. Their first corner of the second half. Bassey giving the ball away. 70 on the clock here. Fulham 1, Aston Villa 0. Fulham defend the goal away to my right. Aston Villa defend the goal away to my left. Douglas Luiz is coming on. That could be for Lamar Bogard. We'll have to wait and see. Luca Digne comes near side. Leno looks out of the goal to his left, right down by the point of my right shoulder as I straddle the halfway line. Digne to take, goes short to McGinn, better angle. McGinn lifts the ball into the box. Good chance at the back post. There's a little bit of holding going down on the floor. Under the weight of the challenge is Yuri Tillemans, but the referee Michael Oliver says, just get up. Just get up. Aston Villa looking for something that wasn't there then. Former Leicester man on a former Leicester man, I believe it is there as well. Castagna on Tielemans, both Leicester players in a former life. Leicester now League One Leicester. Bassey tries to clear the ball after receiving it from Leno. Good work by Rodgers, or as he fouled him, he's fouled Bassey, who fell to the floor. But again, Michael Oliver quickly there with his whistle in hand. Free kick to Fulham, just outside their own penalty area. Time is ticking away. We're into the final 20 minutes here at Craven Cottage. Fulham still lead by a goal to nil, scored on 43 by Ryan Sessegnon. Barkley, Bailey. Well, it's 4 changes. Aston Villa going to ring the changes here. Barkley, Bailey, Luiz and Sancho all coming on, but a chance here as the ball's played forward, lost by Fulham. Rodgers loses out. Great challenge that is, back there by Joachim Andersen to dispossess him. Lukic plays it out to Wilson. Wilson inside his own half, rolls it back along the floor into the feet of the right back, Castagna, who turns it into his own penalty area. Away to my right to Anderson. Anderson across to Leno. Leno out to the left side of centre half, Bassey. Bassey round the corner to Sessegnon. Sessegnon turns it infield to Berg. Berg and Bassey are in a bit of a pickle. Aston Villa have won it back. Chance for Cash to get the ball back to the edge of the box to Rodgers. Rodgers' first touch is heavy. Plays it across the face of goal. Balloons off the shins of the covering defender. Breaks out on the far side of the pitch. Left-sided attacking midfielder Buendia facing that far touchline. Runs it back infield to Konza. Konza now. Chance to play it forward. Villa are winding up the screw, but without fashioning any chances. McGinn comes forward. Square ball this time to Bogard. Bogard out to Digne. Digne crosses the ball in. Up goes Rodgers. Poured away by Leno. Edge of the box hooked away by Smith Rowe. This time Muniz can't get away from the close attentions on the far side of Pau Torres, and the little catching legs has seen Torres go down, but the referee does not blow for a foul. 72 minutes have now elapsed, and we move into towards the 73rd minute. Fulham 1, Aston Villa 0. Goal swept in by Ryan Sessegnon on 43 minutes after a header from Sasa Lucic was parried by Martinez. Bogard loses out. Fulham try and break forward. Little ball from Chuck Ruizy into the feet of Muniz. Is miscontrolled and runs through from the edge of the Aston Villa box away to my left-hand side through to the keeper Martinez. I face the pitch if you can paint a picture of Craven Cottage in your mind's eye. I see the pitch very much as you'll see it on your televisions. Konza up and over the halfway line, down towards the technical areas on this near side to Cash. Cash into Bogard. Bogard back to Konza. Konza square to Torres. Torres being forced backwards this time. Plays the ball out to the right back, Cash. Cash down the line to McGinn. McGinn comes in on his left foot, plays the ball over the top, looking for the run of Watkins. That'll evade Watkins, that'll evade Anderson, that'll evade the keeper Leno and go away for a goal kick. Away to my right-hand side for Fulham. Calvin Bassey has gone down yet again. Michael Oliver's come across to see exactly what the issue is. But now the changes will be made. John McGinn is going to be replaced. Yuri Tillemans is going to be replaced. Douglas Luiz, Sancho, Bailey and Barkley all coming on. Well, Yuri Tillemans has tried to make things tick. Buendia is also coming off. Sancho will go and take over from the far side of the pitch. McGinn, Tielemans, Bogard and Buendia have all gone off. So we've got a new engine room in the shape of Barkley and Luiz. We've got Sancho and Bailey opposite flanks now taking over from McGinn. And of course Buendia. What is the final 17 minutes plus stoppage time going to bring? Marco Silva looks as though he's ready in a couple as well on the far side of the pitch. Bernd Leno has a goal kick here in the sunshine in West London, in the capital. Chance now for Aston Villa to win it in the air. Luiz loses out, hooked away inside the D of his own penalty area by Cash. Konza down to Barkley. Barkley to Luiz. Luiz spins, plays it back to Torres. Torres 12 yards outside his own penalty area. Puts the ball over the top looking for the run of Sancho. Sancho's been out for 3 games in recent weeks. Castagna gets there first. 75 on the clock. Puts the ball out of play for a throw on the far side. Fulham 1, Aston Villa 0. Referee delays the restart. Gives himself a yellow card because there's a couple of players about to come on for Fulham. Emil Smith-Rowe is one that is going to be removed from play. He'll be replaced by, I believe, Josh King. I still can't quite see down beneath me. And still, changes are about to be rung. Coming on as well, we're just trying to see who the 2 players are. Chuck Ruiz has gone off as well. And on come the 2 Fulham substitutes. Chuck Ruiz and Smith-Rowe go off. Josh King and Oscar Bob come on. Well, it's going to be a change for the lineup of Aston Villa. I think they might start looking a bit more like 3-4-3. Ball is in play, far side of the pitch. Luca throws it into the box, comes off the head of the covering defender. Castagna hacked away by Bassi. Far side of the pitch goes out of play again. Digne again, midway inside the Fulham half, which is to the right of the halfway line. Throws it back to Luiz. Luiz up and into the feet of the man coming short, who is Sancho, round the corner after receiving it from Torres. Back to Douglas Luiz. Back this side to Sancho. Sancho tries to slip a ball into the box, but I'm not sure what claret shirt he saw there. Must have been one in the crowd, because it's gone straight to a Fulham player who just literally thumps the long ball forward. Aston Villa trailing here, not doing their Champions League hopes any good whatsoever. Unai Emery cuts off a long figure, hands in pockets. Throw for Fulham, halfway line, far side of the pitch. Castagna throws it up to Muniz. Muniz is held up this time by Torres. Comes off of Muniz, goes out of play for a throw to Aston Villa on the far side of the pitch. Into the 78th minute, just 12 regulation minutes to go. Still the goal remains scored by Ryan Sessegnon. That separates the 2 sides on 43. Brought down beautifully by Watkins. Watkins got it back to Sancho, who's dispossessed and coming forward now on this near side. Sessegnon tracked by Bailey, tries to cross it into the Aston Villa penalty area away to my left hand side, but the ball goes out of play on the far side of the pitch for a goal kick for Aston Villa. Martinez takes it quickly with Torres, back to Martinez. Martinez up to the edge of his 18-yard box away to my left hand side. Sweeps the ball out right-footed to the left side of centre-half Torres. Torres 18 yards shy of the halfway line. Remember, Aston Villa defend the goal away to my left. Fulham defend the goal away to my right. Martinez gets the ball back from Douglas Luiz. Plays the ball back out to Torres. Torres now up to the halfway line. Short ball in field. Finds feet of Ross Barkley. Barkley edging his way to the left, midway inside the Fulham half. Slips a lovely ball with the outside of the boot to Sancho. Good covering by Castagna. slides the ball out of play on the far side of the pitch. Once again, Aston Villa forcing the issue without forcing any chances here. Digne throws the ball to Douglas Luiz. Right on that touchline. Clips it back to Torres. Nice little ball, in fairness. Curled it round Muniz, back towards the halfway line. Torres back to the centre spot to Konsa. Konsa out on this near side to Cash. Cash down this right touchline into the feet of Bailey. Bailey back to Konsa via Cash. And Konsa now will play it back to Martinez. Still, though, changes to be made. Douglas Luiz forward. Picks up the feet this time of Sancho. Sancho driving forward. Rodgers, Sancho. Sancho into the box. Edge of the box. It comes out to Douglas Luiz. Goes out to the right-hand side to Bailey. Great defensive work by Sessegnon. Read the danger. Got a toe in and comes away with the ball up towards the halfway line, but runs it out of play. Ball is thrown back in by Cash to Konsa. Konsa to Douglas Luiz. Man down on the floor is Ryan Sessegnon. 80 minutes on the clock now here at Craven Cottage. Fulham 1, Aston Villa 0. Goal scored on 43, swept in by the man that's now injured, and that is Ryan Sessegnon. Galloped away there. Just felt his calf going. Down on the touchline on this near side of the pitch. The man that scored the goal on 43 minutes that separates these two sides. Well, contrasting fortunes on the bench when that goal went in, but Sessegnon looks as though he is going to go off the field of play now to be replaced by Anthony Robinson. Anthony Robinson, pretty much a mainstay under Marco Silva, who come on to take his position again, the American left back. 81st minute of the game here, and it still remains Aston Villa trailing by a goal to nil. Fulham 1, Aston Villa 0. Tammy Abrahams is also on for Aston Villa. He's on. They're playing two up top now. Douglas Luiz 6 yards inside the Fulham half. Plays it back this time to Cash. Cash on the halfway line. Plays out near side to Bailey. Flick round the corner to Rodgers. Rodgers tries to play it on. Blocked by Bassi. Back to Rodgers. Rodgers gets inside. Thought he was fouled. No, he's not. King near side. Plays the ball into the feet of Bob. Bob tries to play it down the line. It's blocked and away. Lamar Bogard off the field of play. Aston Villa now have played 4 substitutes in the game. Watkins is playing just behind. Tony Abrahams thrown long towards the edge of the box. Torres has to get across and stop the run inside by King. Good work. Barkley, Rodgers, Bailey. Bailey back to Cash. Cash to Konsa inside his own penalty area. Away to my left-hand side. Back to Martinez. Martinez out now on the far side of the pitch to Pau Torres. Torres now 12 yards shy of the halfway line. 6 yards shy of the halfway line. Aston Villa attack that goal away to my right. Short pass out to the left-back Digne. Digne clips the ball forward looking for Sancho. Headed away by Castagna. Laid off by Lukic, but straight to Barkley. Barkley into the feet this time to Rodgers. Rodgers tries to get it forward to Abrahams. Abrahams tries to turn it round the corner, and he can't find his intended target. At the moment, it is all turning out to be a little bit hard work for Aston Villa. Torres into the feet of Douglas Luiz. Douglas Luiz now to Digne, back inside to Douglas Luiz, back to the lip of the centre circle on the Fulham side of the pitch to Konsa. Konsa to Cash. Cash back to Konsa. It is Aston Villa on the ball, but not creating any chances. Real chance now to Abrahams. Abrahams with a lovely lollipop. Can he finish? He's done superbly well to get past the keeper. Not the keeper, Joachim Anderson, I apologise, on the edge of the box. He took it beautifully. It was round the corner by Rodgers. Into the feet of Luiz to Abrahams, who just danced past. Sweet feet, just danced past Joachim Anderson. And then just swept it high over the top of the crossbar from 17 yards. Well, that's a bit of a bad miss there from Tammy Abrahams. Puts his head in his hands. Looks as though Ollie Watkins has been substituted for Tammy Abrahams in the change just moments ago. '84th minute of the game. Fulham on the attack. Muniz holds the ball up, runs down the left of the penalty area of Aston Villa away to my left-hand side. Muniz goes down under a foul, he thought, from Douglas Luiz. Michael Oliver says there's no foul, but Muniz at the moment still on the floor. Douglas Luiz did have a little bit of a nibble. Don't see too much wrong with that, but Muniz is going to milk it to all he can. He's back on his feet now. The ball is back in play. Douglas Luiz, centre circle, Villa side of the pitch, which is to the left of the halfway line. Into the feet of Konza. Round the corner from Luiz this time. Into the feet of Barkley. Barkley finds Sancho. Sancho to Luca Digne. Digne with a cross into the box. Hits the back of Castagna. Headed away by Fulham. Pushing down by Cash to Luiz. Luiz back to Konza. Konza plays it right hand side. Finds Leon Bailey. Bailey now with a run at Robinson. Stands over, a couple of lollipops down to the dead ball line, pulls it back towards the penalty spot. Who's there to cover inside the Fulham penalty area? But Lukic clears the ball away. Fulham 1, Aston Villa 0. 85 on the clock here at Craven Cottage. Cash with the throw on this near side, underneath the camera vantage point in front of the new stand here at Craven Cottage. He's going to look to launch it into the penalty area of Fulham away to my right hand side. Cash launches a long one in towards Torres, headed away by Fulham, edge of the box. Digne, left foot shot, sliced it, got under it, puts it high over the top of the crossbar, and Aston Villa certainly haven't had their shooting boots at Craven Cottage today. Very, very interesting. Fulham remain in their 4-2-3-1 formation. Harder to try and pick out the formation. 4-3-3 you'd have to say for Aston Villa at the moment, although Unai Emery would rather welcome everybody forward and everybody back when they needed to, just to get a goal back. Knocked long by Castagna, crossfield ball from the halfway line, near side. Bob's going to bring it down under pressure this time from Cash. Slips it through the legs of Cash. He's into the box now. Can he find a white shirt? He's onto his right foot as he comes in from the left, but the shot is deflected goalwards, and it's easy for Martinez to gather safely. Martinez's long throw out this time is intercepted back there by Lukic, but goes out of play on the far side of the pitch. So we just get a replay of the nuts by Oscar Bob on Matty Cash. Villa have the ball though, 6 yards inside their own half with Pau Torres. Torres square to Konza on the halfway line. Out to the right back, Cash. Cash is faced by two. Bob being the first one, has to play it all the way back to Emiliano Martinez. Away to my left-hand side. Short pass now to Torres. Torres square to Konza. Konza still 12 yards inside the Aston Villa half, which lies to the left of the halfway line. Into the feet of Douglas Luiz. Round the corner, he finds the feet of Rogers. Rogers out to Bailey on this near side. Bailey loses out to Robinson. Robinson clears the board. It's blocked by Bailey. Balloons away to my right for a goal kick to Fulham. Aston Villa really could be here till the middle of next month. They have not really fashioned any chances whatsoever in this second half. They've had loads of possession, but they haven't fashioned any chances whatsoever. Marco Silva knows his side are just around about 2 minutes and 50 seconds away from the end of the regulation 90 here, as Bernd Leno spots the ball up on the right side of his 6-yard box, and the goal away to my right, and then right-footed smites the ball from my right to my left. Headed down by Muniz. Played back by Bob to Berg. Berg out to Robinson. Robinson forward, trying to find Oscar Bob. Josh King's got in behind Cash though. Cash blades the ball back to Bob. Bob tries to play the ball square to Muniz. Maybe better off of having a shot there. Josh King gets the ball down. Edge of the box comes out this time to Sander Berg. Berg into the Aston Villa box, making his way down to the dead ball line. Pulls it back, hits the body of Muniz, who spins on it. Blocked by the legs of Torres. Villa under pressure here, late on in the piece here. Robinson down the line on his near side to Bob. Bob steps away from Bailey. Fires the ball into the feet this time of Sander Berg. Berg just holds it up, and on the far side of the pitch the flag does go up. 89th minute of the game here at Craven Cottage. Still the goal scored on 43 minutes by Ryan Sessegnon, sweeping in a parry by Martinez from a header from Lukic, and a cross from Castagna on 43 separates these two sides, but Aston Villa have yet to really make Bernd Leno work. Martinez plays the ball out to Torres. Torres square 6 yards inside his own half. Into the feet of Konsa. Konsa to Luiz. Back to Konsa. Konsa to Cash. Cash tries to play it down the line. Leon Bailey's cut out this time. Breaking forward this time is Anthony Robinson, but the ball is going to harmlessly run away because he tried to play it down the line, but the player knew he was offside, so he just checked out, and it's going to be a goal kick to Aston Villa. It has been a pretty impressive performance by Fulham, who have belied the fact that they were 13 points behind Aston Villa before today's game. Into the 90th minute we go here at Craven Cottage. Fulham 1, Aston Villa 0. Scored by Ryan Sessegnon on 43. And it's going to be Konsa into the feet of Rogers. Rogers back to Konsa. A little bit awkwardly for him. He has to spin and go back towards his own goal. Gets the ball under control before playing it out to Pau Torres. Torres this time thinks a diagonal ball forward. Should be easy for Robinson to chest down from 20 yards back to his keeper Bernd Leno as we move into the final 20 seconds of the regulation 90 minutes here at Craven Cottage. Fulham 1, Aston Villa 0. Don't forget, plenty of football coming your way on this medium, including the FA Cup semi-final later on this afternoon between Manchester City and Southampton. Played forward, headed on this time by Bob. Wilson's got him behind. Flag goes up for offside. We're into 4 minutes of additional time to be played here. Aston Villa would just like one goal here to try and share the spoils here at Craven Cottage. Torres takes a free kick 7 yards outside his penalty area, swings it to his left to Martinez. Martinez elects this time to come forward, plays it back to the left-sided centre half. Torres just shy of the halfway line, plays it square to the right-sided centre half in the shape of Konsa. Harry Wilson got a yellow card for his protestations just moments ago, just to keep you informed, as Douglas Luiz has lost out in the middle of the centre circle on the Villa side of the pitch to Sasa Lucic, who sort of pushed him to the floor. Foul by Michael Oliver is blown. Luiz with his free kick for Villa clips it out to Digne. Digne round the corner to Sancho. Sancho brings the ball down. Castagna's with him, plays it inside to Barkley. Barkley wants to try and prise this defence open, can't go forward. Back to Torres, square to Konsa. Konsa to Cash. Cash out to Bailey. Bailey hooks it round the corner. There's no claret and blue shirt in there at all. He's on a different wavelength for the rest of his players. Leon Bailey has been, quite frankly, a bit like Jadon Sancho and Ross Barkley and Tammy Abrahams, as bad as the predecessors that were on the field of play. We're into the 92nd minute of a minimum of 4 to be added on here. And Aston Villa's 3 points on hopes of Champions League qualification have suffered a blow from an indifferent performance here for Unai Emery's side. 92nd minute has almost elapsed here at Craven Cottage. Leno, ball on the right side of his 6-yard box, away to my right-footed, knocks the long ball up. Muniz heads the ball on, that'll go all the way through harmlessly to Martinez in the penalty area, away to my left for Aston Villa. Underarm ball out to Konsa. Konsa comes forward. Shadows grow longer across the pitch here. Short pass this time to Douglas Luiz, out to Cash. Cash down the line to Bailey. Bailey back inside his own half, plays it infield, diagonally back across to Konsa. Konsa now up to the centre spot, plays it to Douglas Luiz to his right. Douglas Luiz 8 yards inside the Fulham half, steps inside of Berg, plays it into the feet of Sancho, back to Barkley. Barkley to Torres. Torres back to Douglas Luiz. Douglas Luiz out to Luca Digne. Digne inside to Barkley. Barkley turns away from goal, then plays it down that far touchline. Sancho keeps it in play just from a flick from Douglas Luiz, but Barkley's being forced back to the halfway line here by Wilson. Turns him, plays it forward, gives the ball away to a Fulham player. Good break going forward, this time going down under a rather robust challenge going forward. It is again Harry Wilson fouled by Douglas Luiz, who's going to get himself a card of the yellow variety here. 94th minute of game, the only goal of the game, separating the two on 43. Good run forward by Castagna, crossed it into the box. Saka Lukic with a header straight at Martinez, who parried the ball in towards the centre of his penalty area, and in came the left back Ryan Sessegnon with his left boot to stroke it into the back of the net through the legs on the line of Ezri Konsa for 1-0. The only goal of the game for these two sides so far. We have 36 seconds, less than that, left in the game. Fulham come forward, given away though on the edge of the box. Bob gives it away off the Aston Villa box. Coming forward, Robinson tries to get it forward. Good work on this near side by Bailey, covered off this time by Josh King. We are into the 5th minute of time added on now. Still that goal by Sessegnon separates the two sides. It's all eyes on Michael Oliver now. Ball goes up in the air. Michael Oliver says that is enough, and it's finished here at Craven Cottage. Ryan Sessegnon's goal separates the two sides on 43 minutes. It's finished. Fulham 1, Aston Villa 0. Thank you very much for listening.